and it's some real nice thing they're talking about. Better teachers, better, excuse me, paying teachers better, doing this, that, and the other to improve education, and then who sponsors the message? ExxonMobil? You really think ExxonMobil cares about you in this classroom? No. ExxonMobil cares about one thing, how much gas gets pumped from their pumps into your tank.
Well, yeah, it makes some money.
Well, guess what? Is that all there is to life? If it is, then you're a sorry sack of manure yourself.
I'm not even...
I know what it's all about. But there can be a time when we change that.
Well, yeah,
Do we have to be a bunch of mindless, profiteering, bottom line, nut-cutting zombies who care about nothing but making a buck?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's what half the guys on Wall Street are.
Well, why would they care about us? Like, they're providing us their service.
Excuse me, that's a service?
To give us their gas?
Because
I can't...
They're also the same ones. They're also the same ones who, in collusion with the auto companies, made sure they never installed the carburetor. Be quiet, please. Never installed the carburetor in these cars that would get you 60 miles to the gallon. Collusion, buddy.
Well, that's not appropriate.
But that's what they do.
But that's not...
But that's what they do.
It's not a bad... What
they do stinks, man. If you research it, you come back and tell me it doesn't smell bad. Walk by a refinery. Walk by a refinery and tell me it doesn't stink.
I like the smell of gas.
Well, the refinery is not the smell of gas. See, you don't burn what they take right out of the ground. They have to refine it. And when they refine it, they send all kinds of toxic crap up in the air. See, you're part of it. Look, you are part of a generation that can demand better. Every single time somebody talks about solar or wind, guess who jumps up with a big, highly funded, multi-million-dollar funded program to stop alternative? The oil companies.
Well, that's how they have to make their money too.
No. Why can't they diversify?
Why would they? They already have a good enough...
Oh, so in other words, you allow a few corporate swine, hush please, you like to allow a few corporate swine who live in 10,000 square foot houses and who make $20 million a year to dictate to you and keep you like some mouse.
That's not what I said either.
But that's what they want.
That's what they want, but that's not...
And you want to let them keep doing it.
Well, if...
Then you... No, I just told you. People... allowed it to happen, and people can change it. And if you want to be a mouse and walk through your life and not change anything and just accept, I'm going to tell you guys something. You know how much vacation most of you guys are going to get up until you've been on the job for up to like 10 years? You're going to get like 2 weeks per year. You know what everybody in Europe gets? Just about everybody in Europe gets a month. That's it. It's just the way it is. And in any city of any size, they have rapid transit that works. So guess what? You live in a great, great country, but it's also like a giant experiment. Remember, it's a lot younger than most of these other countries I'm talking about. It's a country that can be greater than it's ever been. But if it's allowed to go the way of the Roman Empire, we'll be lucky if it's around when you're old as I am. There are no guarantees. The Roman Empire lasted 600 years and it fell away. Why? Because of apathy, overextension, and sloth. In other words, intellectual laziness. Now you find me a nation in the world today that is working on intellectual laziness harder than the United States is. No such place exists. No such place exists. We can't fill our graduate engineering schools. Hey, we cannot fill our graduate engineering schools unless we recruit a whole boatload of people from other parts of the world. Okay? That's the fact of life. Shh. All right? There was a time when once people used to say, there's only 2 countries that are developed that don't have national medical. And they used to say South Africa and the United States. Well, guess who's going to get national medical before the United States? South Africa will. And people like you will still be... What's that? I mean, people like you will still be sitting around there acting like it's okay, we can't do anything about it. Bull. If we couldn't do anything about it, we'd all be speaking German right now, and Hitler would have goose-stepped his way across this country, too. Talk about not being able to do something about something. All right,
Not even
I
the
tell
guy.
you guys, I expect, you know what you guys have got to be? You guys have got to be, hey, young man, you guys have got to be the best. Because the challenges are much harder than they were when I came out of high school. You don't believe me?
No, I believe you.
Let me tell you what, half the countries that are passing us by, and all of the statistics having to do with academics, they weren't even competitors. They were jokes. We used to laugh about them. I can tell you there was a time, you guys know you pick up something that says made in China underneath, right?
Yeah.
You know what it used to say?
What?
Made in Japan. You know what Americans used to do? They used to laugh. The Japanese, all they can make is little ashtrays and little junk. That's what they used to do. I can tell you, the man who founded Sony, he went to this big international conference, and he was there with all these Europeans and Americans, and some big shot from some American company, he said to him, he says, oh, your products are nice and cute, just like the little paper umbrellas that people put in their drinks. You know what that guy said? The guy from Sony said to himself at that time, "Well, make that SOB eat his words." And he did. So just think about stuff like that. You want to be part of the slip slide like the Roman Empire, slide away? Be lazy. When somebody asks you a two-part question, just answer one part. If somebody asks you for a fully developed answer, just answer one part. I've had people hand in work to me where they're going into a second sentence, and after 3 words, there's nothing. That was a nice start. That was a nice start to an answer. I get this from AP and regular.
My bad.
So be better. Just be better. Okay, what?